So,
What can you tell me your experiences? What led you into spiritualism itself? How did your journey begin?
how it began was years ago. Actually, I used to see spirit, I used to hear them, and I used to do a lot of astral traveling. When I used
Yeah.
to go to bed, I used to wake up. Well, not wake up, I'd be fast asleep in bed, but I'd float up above my body and see myself sleeping in bed. And I'd turn and go around and down the stairs. And as I went down the stairs, my stomach would always churn. But I'd go outside and see things that were going to happen the next day or within a couple of days. And then I'd go back to bed and come back into my body. But I ignored it for a long, long time. I just wouldn't have it because it used to scare me seeing things and hearing things. And then all of a sudden it started again when I was in my 20s. And I kind of ignored it and carried on doing my work. The work was kind of important when you're rearing a family and you've got children. But I just left it. And then all of a sudden, I was talking to a friend one time who was very ill. And I went round his house to see him, and he was 92. And I said to him, "How are you doing, Martin?" He said, "Fine." And we were talking away. And then after a couple of 20 minutes or so, I said to him, "Well, Martin, I've got to go. I'll see you Tuesday." This was on the Thursday. And he said, "What time?" And I said, "Why? Where are you going?" He said, "I'm going upstairs." "I'm going up," he said. "That's what you said. I'm going up." And I said, "Going up? You're not going anywhere." He said, "I am." He said, "What time will you be here?" And I said, "Oh, about 10:30. So he looked up into the sky again, up into the ceiling, and he stared for a few seconds and he said, "You'll just make it." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, I'll be gone before 11 o'clock. So anyway, and I said, "Okay, fine." I humored him and I walked, said goodbye and went out. Well, the next thing happened is the weekend came and went and came to the day that I said I'd call over. Something happened and I didn't make it. I got a phone call at 11 o'clock saying Martin had just passed. And that in my head flicked the switch. How did he know that? How was that possible? And from then, I started seeing people around on roads and walking down the road and walking through walls, suddenly talking in my ear. And I just took it from there. Some reason, I don't know how, but I went on a circle one time and I've been doing it ever since. And I then had a medium friend call over and she brought another friend with me. And when she walked in the door, she said, "Oh my God." She didn't say it as polite as that, but she was 82. "Oh my God," she said, "you're the highest healer I've ever seen." And I said, "I don't do healing." She said, "You do. Just with your words and your touch, you heal everybody." I said, "No, I don't do anything about it." So I discussed it with her and she told me what to do. So I said, "I'll try it." So I rubbed my hands together and she said, "What on earth are you doing?" I said, "Well, I just feel I want to rub my hands together and generate energy." She said, "You don't need to do that." And that's when it all started. I started healing from there.
So, do you believe in these experiences, let's say, with Martin and this lady who came into your life? Do you believe these were like milestones that spirit placed to trigger you onto your journey?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Can you
Absolutely.
evaluate on the experiences you were have? So let's say when you were seeing spirit on the roads, like
Yeah.
how was they to you, and what did you feel the sensations in your body when you saw this energy on the road?
When I first saw the man, he was thumbing a lift on the side of the road, but he was absolutely beaming a smile, like he was a jester. He was just really smiling and having fun. And as I got close to him, he sort of leant out. So I swerved the car round him a bit because it was all happened in a split second or so. So
Yeah.
I swerved the car around him, and my son said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Swerving around the man." He said, "There is no man there." I could see him as clear as I see you, Kyle.
So, like, what sort of clothes did he wear? Did he have any, like, facial hair as
He,
well, or?
no, he was a blonde-haired fella, much the
Yeah.
same as your shape and head and everything. He was I say about 6 foot, and he was wearing a top, and he was wearing jeans.
Wow. So it was actually quite more modern then when you saw this spirit.
Fully
So,
formed, yeah. But the
yeah.
lady I saw after that was completely different because I was driving with another son. And as I was driving down the road, I suddenly saw this lady walking towards me, and she was in really, really old clothes. She had a bonnet on, a big hipster dress that came down to her ankles, and a, like a brace thing on the front. And she was all dressed and a bonnet on. And I just looked at her, and as I looked at her, I thought, wow, you're dressed old looking. And I thought no more of it. But in that same second or so, she turned right and walked through a stone wall. And my son, that was sat next to me in the van, said, "Oh my God, did you see that?" So I said, "I did. What did you see?" And he explained exactly the same thing.
I just want to thank Sue, Lauren, Nomai, and Denise for coming in to the Watch Live. And I would like to ask the next question to you. What is your inspiration? What motivates you? Because I've noticed through your healing, you're giving from the heart. You're not actually wanting an energy exchange.
No,
What gives you this motivation?
I think it's just the love and wanting to heal people. It's as simple as that. It's a very
Yeah,
simple thing to do.
yeah, but also inspiring, and that's what matters. Um, do you think that? I want to ask your experiences with higher energies. So I would like go towards light beings, angels, masters such as great teachers of this earth, like Jesus and all
Yeah.
that. Could you like share your experiences with the higher energies?
I don't have a lot of experiences with them other than I ask them. I've been told by several mediums who I work with, and it's Jesus, Moses. I also work with Louis Pasteur, and I also work with Notre Dame
Oh,
and a lot of archangels. Now I don't ever see them, although I have seen Jesus twice, and Louis Pasteur I've seen once.
yeah, I've heard that Jesus works through many, and it is mainly a lot on the healing
Yes,
concepts. Like I do believe in the concept where he did heal lupus, and that's my
yes.
beliefs, and that's from what spirit has led towards me. Um, I want to move on to the astral travel as well.
Okay.
Like when you was astral traveling, what as a child, what went through your mind when you went out of your body? Was you shocked, or was you like, this is a natural phenomenon?
For me, it was completely natural. But the thing that shocked me was you never opened a door to go anywhere. You walked up to the door, or you floated up to the door, and next thing you were outside, or you floated up to the wall and you were in the next room. That didn't make sense to me. That's the only bit that ever puzzled me.
Right. I just want to thank Chris, Catherine, Carol, well, both carols, which I call Christmas carols, for coming. If you guys want to ask Patrick a question, please put in the chat. There's a slight delay on the video, but we will get to you. So when you heal, what is it you do to send it out? Like, what does it feel like? Do you like channel it from your awareness and then out the hands, or are you thrusting it in the
What
hands?
I
What is your
what I
motion?
what I tend to do, and I've got a little table there, and you've seen this before. There's my picture. I always sit on that couch, and there's a little table, but I kneel in front of that, so I'm grounded, and then I hold my hands out upwards, palm up, and then I ask everyone I want to ask, God, Jesus, Mary, Joseph, all the apostles, all the angels, all the saints, all the archangels. Then I go through my family, and then I go through my friends, and I ask them for healing for whoever I'm asking for. But then I go into like a lot of the time I have a picture, because I do like a picture, and I just go into like a daydream trance. I don't know, and I just start doing it, and then I actually pray that they accept the healing, because you can't always be with them to ask them, will they do that? Will they take it? So I pray that their soul will take it, and then when I've asked for the healing, and then say the prayers afterwards. That's all I do.
Wow, so it's like you're, in a way, you're a conduit for these energies to come forward to the earth more. So these, like, from a higher realm to the earthly plane, you're
Exactly.
mediating these things
Mhm.
forward.
Just a vessel.
Exactly. So what do you believe in going forward in the future with healing? What do you aspire to get?
Well, it's not really about me. It's about healing others. I don't need to get anything. I'm okay in life. I've had a great life, and
Yep.
everything's fine. But if I can help one person, that's fine. That's brilliant. But I've done more than that now at this stage. So
Yeah.
I'd like to move on and heal more and do more. That's just keep doing what I'm doing.
Oh, I've got some questions. The first one's from Lolly. Do you get hot
Okay.
when you are healing?
Very hot, and I can get very cold. I can't really say which is which, because quite often my hands will be boiling, but my back will be freezing. It's completely mixed up.
And I've got a question from Sue as well. Do you visualize or see the people you send healing to? Example,
Yes.
see someone in their hospital beds and also any of their loved ones in spirit gathering around them.
No, I don't. I don't actually see that. I just look at their picture, and that's what I do. But I don't. I do visualize people that I haven't got a picture of. I actually do that. So.
Yeah. I've seen that the angels do work around you, because my way of seeing it, I see the silver aura around you, and to be honest, you do admit this a lot, and I do believe that that is the energy you give off that these beings attach to. In some words, how would you inspire people in life to emit energy that is more of love and the light to people in the world?
Firstly, I think you got to forgive your own mistakes. We all make mistakes, and we can't dwell on them. You've got to be you and just send that love out. It's not about what you've done in your previous, earlier on in your life, making mistakes or anything. Forget all that. Just acknowledge you've done things, because we all done stupid things, and just send out the love. That's all I do.
Yeah, that's so true. Another question. Well, we've got a question from Steve Ebbage. I think
All
I've said
right,
that right.
Steve. Yeah, lovely.
Yep. Can you feel when you have successfully sent someone healing?
In a way, yes, I can. Yes, my fingers tingle when I'm doing it, and well, I'm not even sure if they tingle. They kind of tingle, but they throb. They're pulsing, like you're feeling your heartbeat in your chest. You can feel that in your fingers. So the answer is yes to that one.
Yep. Another question from Lolly. Do you ever send healing to the animals as well?
Yes, I do, because I actually have cows. A lot of people know that.
Yes.
And I heal my cows.
But, I've heard about the kittens as well, and that was a word of mouth thing. If you want to share about the kittens that you sent healing to, because I think that needs to be spoke about.
Oh, that was for Lynn, lovely Lynn. She asked me to send some healing for two little stray kittens that were nearly dying. So I've done that for days and days, and they're actually perfect now. actually, they're lovely. Did you see them? I didn't know you knew about that.
Yeah, I've seen the kittens, and it's lovely when you get to see them grow like that, because there was one of them was unfortunately in a little state of a lot of pain, and
Yeah.
it's good to see them all lively and growing now. Another question from Sue. Patrick, have you thought about doing some inspirational writing, blessings and prayers?
I'm lucky to be able to do the writing I do. You're not the most intelligent in the world. And how would you spell that is a great phrase of mine.
Well, you never know. You might start doing some writings on your new page now. You might give some
Exactly.
words of healing to people. You never know. Spirit might get your fingers strumming about.
Exactly, that's true.
So was just making a joke about having a cow cat, which I do call her cat a cow cat. It'll probably blend in with your cows.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah. So, what is your belief in God, spirit? What is God to you? Because we have a lot of concepts of God. You've got God where people think it's only just love and love, or you got people who says God's within everything, love and hatred, and all these type of emotions. What is God in a definition to you? What do you feel in your core?
God is just another being to me, as in not just another being, but he's everywhere, he's with us, and I believe in God. And I believe in Jesus too. So
Likewise,
if you'd asked me that when I was 14, I would say, what?
Well, that's the rebellious side. I think we all can share, isn't it? I was a bit like that as well until I went on to the journey of believing. I want to talk about spirit talking to you then. So when words come into you, how often is it? Is it through the ears, or is it mainly in the brain? What is the experience you have to share when spirits come forward to speak with you?
Both. It's both. I have it in the brain where you talk to yourself in your head, just like you go in the shops and you don't say, oh, I need a pound of sausages. You just say in your head, oh, a pound of sausages. You hear your own voice in your head. You get that. But I have actually heard proper voices, proper singing, everything. I've heard it, so.
Can you expand on the experience with singing? Because that's an experience that could be shared.
Yeah, when I was ill and the doctors, well, he was a mister. He was higher than a doctor. He was a specialist. He kept telling me I was lucky to be alive. You don't realize how lucky you are. But I already knew I was lucky because I had one day I had a big band strike up in my right ear, and it was like a pure orchestra, really, really loud. You could feel my ribs vibrating and everything. I had the whole sensation. And then the next thing, Louis Armstrong started singing, You've Got All the Time in the World. And as soon as he got the world out, it stopped and it all faded away and was gone. And I went, oh my God.
What was your reaction?
I was excited. It's like winning the lottery because I was so excited, and the doctor's coming in and saying that you're so lucky to be here. No, I knew I was going to be here, but you can't be that arrogant, so.
Yeah, well, it certainly strengthens your faith when you have those experiences, don't it?
Absolutely, and especially to get somebody like that, Louis Armstrong. And then one time, my wife and myself, we were in Italy, and we'd just been around the amphitheater, the big stone facade place, and I heard this woman singing opera. And I turned to Lorraine, I said, hasn't she got a lovely voice? No, I said, someone's happy. Hasn't she got a lovely voice, Lorraine? And Lorraine said, sorry, I think that's only you that can hear that. So and I went, okay. But it is amazing when you hear these things.
When you heard this opera, then was it like a modern opera, or was it a proper old school experience, like historical?
It was really old. This town that we were in was 500 to 600 years BC.
Oh.
So it wasn't just a little time ago. It was years and years and years.
You never know.
Thousands.
You may have a female. Was it a female who was singing the opera?
It was a female, yes.
You may have a helper then.
Who was
of that energy and descent, and
Funny enough, at the same time, I actually when I've been in the circles with yourself, I've seen a Roman centurion to my right with
Sounds
the
like
metal
you do
helmet
have.
on.
Yeah.
And
Sounds like there is a connection there. It's like these are the things, though. Spirit. It's like they have these milestones, they set these pillars, and you're walking on your journey. As long as you stick to the journey, you're going to reach these milestones, and you're going to
absolutely.
strengthen your faith.
But I had a lady called Joan Walker, a lovely lady. She gave me a reading one time, and she said, "You do know you have a Roman centurion walking around everywhere you go?" And I said, "No, I didn't, but I am seeing him now." So
Looks like you may get a name soon. You never know.
yeah.
So, what is your experience with auras? Do you ever see the energy fields that people emit around them?
You know, I have never looked for them or seen them, but I was told if you keep trying, you will see them. But I haven't tried. That's the truth. So, but I know everyone has them.
What I do is I sense the colours, like from how they I understand them. So when I look at you, my mind's eye's already putting the bright white light around you, and then there's gold at the top of it, and it's like, you know how you're drawing a painting and you're going through your
Yeah.
inspiration. It's like you look at someone's camera and then you're seeing these colours around them, and you just give off what you feel from them. So I do see a lot of beautiful divine colours. That's the word I would look for around you. And what is your experiences with archangels? Because I do believe in archangels, and there is a lot of the earth, but I do believe there's many archangels across the universe.
Well, to be honest, I believe in them because I've actually seen one. So,
Oh, can you say which one?
well, I don't know which one it was, but I made a cup of coffee one day, and I was in the kitchen, and I looked out the window, and just in front of me, about 20 foot away, an archangel was just had its wings up above its head, and it was just going straight up into the sky. And I just followed it up, and then I shook my head, and it was gone. And I just thought, wow, pure white.
Yeah, Sue's just asked a question. Do you have any comments about the magical fairy shrub in Cote Clare, where the bypass was built around it rather bulldozer through it?
Well, the Irish have great faith in fairies and leprechauns and things like that. I actually have a bush just outside my window, probably about 50 feet away. And I asked the driver to pull it out because it was a nuisance. And he refused. He wouldn't pull it out. So he said, "No, I can't pull it out." So it's been there ever since. So I've gone with what he said, and it's still there.
Do you believe in, like, let's say, elemental spiritual beings? So you know how you've got fire, earth, water, and all these other different elements on the planes. Do you believe, like, there's some earth elementals, ones that care for the animal kingdom and of the plant life and life as a whole? Do you believe that there's some sort of guardians, like if these fairies operate in that way, or what is your opinion on these fairies to exist?
I actually do believe. I think everybody has someone, you know. But I had a reading there from Brian Powell or something. I can't remember his name now. Power, I think. And he told me to go out and buy some sweets and throw them around all the bushes to feed the fairies.
It's like a what is it? A tribute to them.
Yeah, yeah.
And I do believe that when they look at you, they know how much love you have for the animals and how much love you have for nature. And it's so important to get out in nature. How would you advise people to connect to nature more?
They just have to go out for walks and maybe daydream a bit more. Don't be too serious about what you do in life, you know?
Yeah,
Just relax your mind and go with it. It's as easy as that.
yeah. It definitely, you need to not be too serious or it'll block you from a lot of magical
Exactly.
things that are around you. You got to
Yeah.
appreciate life for the creation it is.
Because the serious people don't believe in a lot of things, do they? It's black and white and that's it. But
Rationalized.
life is more than black and white. There's colours in it.
Yep, exactly. Colours of the rainbow gets you to the pot of
Exactly.
gold.
Exactly.
I needed to put that joke in. So, what do you have any big mediums like you was inspired by, like any names
I
where
have.
you've been
I
on journey?
do. I have. Sue Woods is a great one.
Sue Woods.
Denise Hutton. I like Sean Roper. I like Wayne. I like. Oh, there's lots of them. There's so many. They're all different, and they all give you something to look at and try and emulate.
It
Not that
comes
you want
back
to copy.
to
You're still going to be your own self. So
the earlier conversation, isn't it? Where you have many different slices of cakes and
yeah,
many you can just share and eat. Those slices of cakes makes the whole.
yeah. And then you
But
got Gary Edwards, Leone. They're all fantastic people. I'm not trying to forget anyone, but there's some fantastic ones out there.
yeah. What where do you see yourself, like, let's say 2 years time, with the healing? Like, you've just made your page today, which I am going
Yep, yep.
to make a comment and give people that link to your page.
Cool. Okay. Where do I see myself? I just want to be the best I can and progress, keep healing people. I like a comment, when you heal somebody and they write back to you and tell you what a fantastic job you've done. That means a lot. I know a lot of people say, oh, you don't need that, but it's nice to get it.
Well, it's good when people come to give you validation, but I try
Yeah.
avoid seeking it. But it is
Oh, I don't
nice.
seek it, but you do get it.
But can you explain some of your feedback then? So when you've sent healing to people without giving like names, what sort of feedback have you got? Like, is like cases?
Well, I've had one lady, and she'd probably tell you herself, but she gave me feedback, and she said to me, even the doctors don't understand how the daughter or the granddaughter can do what she's able to do at the moment, because she's not supposed to be able to do anything. And I get on very, very well with her. She's fantastic, and she sends me photographs, videos of the child, and it's like being an uncle. Really,
Yeah,
being involved is fantastic.
but that's
So
the thing with us. We're all a family in a way, spiritually, and when you have those spiritual eyes, you can really connect to everyone as part of life with you.
exactly.
So project-wise, what sort of things are you involved in currently? Like projects, like what are you building a foundation, or what is your aspirations, or are you just taking one step
I
at a
just
time?
Yeah, it's one day at a time, and you get people ask you to send healing, and you do that, and then you get a thrill out of you get a thrill out of helping some, and then when you get somebody tell you how they're getting on, that's fantastic too. So, but it's just one day at a time for me. So
When you send healing, do you believe in distant healing and over auric? What would you say is stronger to give the energy physically next to him, or do you just believe that it makes no difference if you do it distant?
I
Or
don't think it makes any difference, Kyle, to me anyway. That's what
yeah,
I believe. I think it's actually distant healing is a stronger form, because you have to send it.
yeah, and it comes from the heart, and that's what matters.
Exactly. So I send it to America and everywhere. Well, Canada. The cats are in Canada.
Yes, exactly. So, how would you like to see spirituality evolve across the human race in the future? Like,
I think it's got to
like,
come. I think more and more people are going to believe, because they're going to see these things happen. And it's like myself with that 92-year-old man, Martin. Somebody just wrote to me. And once something like that happens, it just activates your mind. And I think that's what's going to happen with a lot of people. I'd just like to say hi to Colin. He just commented there.
Oh, right. Yeah, you must have been on your
I think
page.
it must be on my page, yes.
Because I'm reading the ones on my page. Maybe I should swap between the two then. But we do have a question from Steve again. He says, "Can you give
Mhm.
healing to people you have never actually seen?"
Yes. Yes, you can. I do that too. Yeah, just send out the thought and just do it. But I
So
do prefer a photograph if I can,
it's like connecting heart to heart then when you send healing out to people then.
Yes, it really is actually.
What do you believe in as what is the spirit to you? How do you define spirit?
Well, that's a hard question for me. Spirit is all around us and they're working with us all the time. So you have to accept that they're there. So that's all I do. So other than that,
Keep things
you
simple because it's beyond us
just keep it simple.
comprehension.
Exactly. If we'd be puzzled all day long every day.
Exactly. That's what I do. I always keep things simple. So, what is your experiences with chakras? Do you feel anything with chakras, or do you work on people's chakras, or was they just naturally open channels to you?
Yeah, they're just natural to me. So although I do, my stomach is the big one. I do get
So
nervous at time, and that stomach churning when you're doing things. So.
I think that's the solar plexus where the
Yeah,
power gets stored.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's normal for when it stirs up your stomach because it's like when you're
Oh,
doing exams or something in school and
exactly. Yeah, yeah, and it's a
butterflies in
big
the
one.
tummy. Yeah. So what can you explain your experiences and views on the mediumistic side of spiritualism, such as your opinions on spirituality as in messages, trance, physical, psychic readings? What's your in-depth view on this side of spiritualism?
Oh. Well, there's so many good mediums out there. It's hard to deny that it's not real. So for me, it's 100% belief for me, and I believe in everything that's given because a lot of it is so accurate, and even to the fact that you get things and it hasn't even happened yet, but a week down the road it does happen. I've had that myself where I've seen school shootings, and I rented a house one time in Australia, and I suddenly watched a murder in the kitchen. Scared me to death, but I watched it.
We just had a comment from Chris. He says it's nice to see that you do it for the love and for the people of the world, Patrick. You're a very honest, open person. The thought of love is powerful and agree, more is needed.
Is that Chris Vaughan? Is it?
Yep.
He's a fantastic healer too.
And we've got Elaine
So,
Jenkins who's asked, how long does it depend on each individual? Do you get signals or signs when you've done your bit?
no, all I do is I do the healing and then I close down and I forget all about it, to be honest. Unless it's something that I was told is serious and I do it for maybe 2-3 weeks, morning, noon, and night. I do it 3 times. And quite often I'll wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I don't know why, but I just wide awake, so I start healing then.
So it's like you're not really got it in your thoughts. It's like you're just going with your gut. You're waking up at 3
Yeah,
and it's like, I'm going to send some healing now.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like you've got some lovely helpers. Speaking of helpers, what's your opinion on spiritual guides? Because you've got some people in the spiritual movement who say stuff that they don't need guides. It's all in them. They're doing it. What's your opinion on guides? Do you see the value in spiritual help
Oh my
from
God!
guides?
To me, if you haven't got a guide, you haven't got anything. Guides are what help you. It's not you doing it. You're just the vessel, and you're passing on. And I actually sometimes when I'm praying, I confuse myself with what I'm saying because I ask, "Will they help me to send the message, the healing?" And then I say, "Sorry, can do it the other way." I asked thank you for them working with me or for me. And I get all confused sometimes. So, yeah, no, it's them. It's not me. I just ask.
Couldn't agree more, to be honest.
Yeah.
So what's your view on religion as a whole? What is your opinion on religion?
I was brought up Catholic, and I've never really followed religion as such. I used to hate being made to go to church, and if I could duck it, I would. It wasn't for me. It's still not for me. As in, I don't believe that churches need all these billions, and you hand your money to them, and then people are still struggling. I think people should be helped. So I'd rather just do my own thing, and that's it, really.
Following your heart is the most important thing, especially when you're expressing the spirituality within you. So, where do you ever do one-to-ones with people? Like, if you was doing healing, would you offer yourself into, let's say, virtual one-to-one sittings with them, or is that something you would think
I
about
haven't at the moment, but I'm doing a course with Chris Vaughan, and we'll be talking about that as and when we finish the course. But the only thing I've ever done one-on-one is I saw somebody that I knew that was seriously ill, and I walked across the road. But as I was walking across the road and looking, I was praying and already started. So then I said to him, "Hello, Bill." And he went, "Hello, Patrick." And I put my hand out, and we touched each other's hands to shake. And all of a sudden he went, "Ugh." And I went, "What's the matter, Bill? You all right?" He said, "Yeah, that was weird," he said. So he must have felt something.
Definitely. Like maybe a static electricity shock or goosebumps, where you feel
whatever it was, but
walking over
he did
grave.
make a moan.
So, animals, when you're out with the animal kingdoms, like
Yes.
your dogs, your cows, are they attracted to your energy? Do they instantly run towards you and they're soaking up your energy around you? What's your experiences? How does animals react to your auric field around you?
Well, they're all different, but the cows, they stand and they watch you and they come over and they're looking for something. It's like they're looking for nuts or something to eat, but they're watching you and waiting for you, And if you walk away, they start mooing because they want. Yeah. And my son has my son has a collie dog, and you've probably seen him in photographs. But he comes up to you and he turns around, then he backs in because he wants you to just hold his back. He's an amazing dog, and then he won't leave when he comes. The son has to pick him up and carry him back out the car because he won't go.
Do you believe in like how the native Americans or shamanism, how they had the animal totems and they would carve the totems with the animals' features and faces and they would store the energy within the totem? Do you believe in animals corresponding with our own human nature to help guide us in our lives?
Yes, I do believe in that. I was having a massage one time because I pulled a muscle in my back, and all of a sudden in my third eye, I watched a tiger walking up to me, and I was sort of pulling back a little bit. Then all of a sudden it licked my face, and I jumped up, and the person said, "What's wrong with you?" I couldn't tell them that the tiger licked my face. I think I was crackers.
We've got a question from Sue. Do you ever do readings as well, like mediumistic or?
I used to until I got ill, and then I just never done them again and concentrated on it. But I just don't tend to say it as I stick to the healing. I don't want to be a jack of all trades. I just do the one. So I think that's
the thing.
That's it, really.
There is a lot of people that do try be the jack of all trades these days. And you can choose the path of being a jack of all trades and a master in nothing, or commit yourself to something. And you've gone with the path of healing, and that's where Spirit's probably guided you towards it.
At first, I didn't want to, though, Kyle. I must admit, I still wanted to do the readings. give out the messages, but I don't think you have a choice. I think it's taken off you. You get bits now and again, but you're going that way, my friend, and that's it. And that's why I've accepted it. So
I've heard a lot of people say it like that, where they're always not wanting the path they have, but they end up doing it because that's the way Spirit wanted. But do you believe, let's say before you're born into this life, do you choose this path? So is it like your spirit agreeing to it, or is it Spirit pouring it on you?
I think it's put on you, isn't it? You might have it. You have it as a path anyway. I was always told it. You're going to do this. You're going to do that before you come over. But I think you move along and you accept it, and they just keep bumping you across a bit more to where you have to go until you get it right.
Yeah, exactly. Charlie asks another question. Well, question. Do you send out healing to Mother Earth? If so, how do you go about doing that?
I do that exactly the same as I'm doing healing. I always ask for any extra energy to be sent to Mother Earth and the animals.
So it is a very simplistic nature, and that's what we are. We're a vessel, we're a conduit to Spirit.
Exactly.
And
I think we can all do it.
Yeah. Oh, so you
It's
believe
just like
everyone's all healers?
Well, I think everyone can heal themselves with a high energy that they have and do that. It's like everyone can sing. It doesn't mean they can all sing great, but you know.
Did you start off with having to learn to heal yourself before becoming a healer, or did healing naturally just come into your life?
Well, as I say, I didn't know anything about healing until Layla Kay told me. And then I started doing what she told me. And then I say it was about 6 months before I started even thinking of healing myself. And I still don't. I still don't think of healing myself. I think about the others first, and I tend to forget about myself. It doesn't seem important when actually it is important, because if I don't heal myself, I can't heal others. So.
That's a very true philosophy, and everyone should take heed to those words,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
So, what's your opinion on astrology as well? Like, you know how you've got your star signs and stuff. What do you see in astrology? Is it something you do believe in, or do you not believe in it?
I just don't follow it whatsoever, Kyle. I know people do, and I've had a reading of Shearer Farrell or something, astrology, and it was amazing. So everything is there, and it's there for a reason. It works. So, but I don't know anything about it as that.
Lauren's asked another question. Do you self-heal yourself? Like, do you ever just sit in meditation and you just channeling it in just to build you up?
Yes, I do. Yeah. And you often see me there, and I'll be doing that or doing this or doing that. I'm always doing that. Probably think I'm learning to be a lollipop man or something.
Yeah. Like, how would you, with people who's new to the movement, what is your guidance? How do they get into these meditations? Because you go deep, you go astral, you go out the body. What is your steps to give to the people on how they can go about and relax and meditate?
The best thing to do is go on YouTube and listen to stuff on there and start doing it from there. There's some great people who do meditations. So Heidi's fantastic too. So, but I was in the circle there one time and I went out into space. So that was weird. I had to ask Colin Walker about that, and he confirmed that was true. So if it wasn't for him, I thought it was crackers.
Colin's just asked a question. Can Patrick heal the hind legs off a horse?
Tell him I don't know about horses.
He might be horsing around.
I did read that comment when it flashed up, but I chose to ignore it.
I didn't know where that comment was because I think multiple people shared the page, and I'm looking just at the main one where the live video is. So if I'm missing any comments, guys, I'm sorry about that. But I encourage you to click on the In-Spiritation where it's live, and we can ask and answer there.
Exactly.
What's your view on like, let's say the universe. So we've got the universe. Have you ever like gone to ponder in your personal view how this all began? Was there something before it? Where is the beginning? Where's the end? Or was there ever no beginning or end?
I've often thought about it, and I've often thought how big it is, but I've never let it get to me that I have to find the answers because I just don't know, Kyle. I really don't know.
I get what you mean. I mean, I just patiently wait.
Just accept it and see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. So when you get, I know I shouldn't be asking this, but if you was to go to spirit, what do you think you would love to do? Would you come back to the earth to continue this journey of healing, or are you like, I don't know, I'm just gonna go out and where I'm commanded, or what's your opinion on that?
Firstly, I had a reading one time, and the lady said to me, "You do know when you're going to die, don't you?" And I went,
7 days.
"No." And she said, and the medium with her said, "You can't tell him that." I said, "Yes, you can." So she said, "I know I can because his dad's telling me I can tell him." So I said, "No, I don't know, but that's cool. Tell me." She said, "You'll be 82. So I'll worry about that one when I get there."
You'll get to 83.
Yeah, yeah. Prove them all wrong.
With all that healing energy in you, though, I'm surprised you'll not live up to 120, you know? Like proper.
That's what Denise said. She said, "They'll keep you on Earth. Don't worry about dying." She said.
Well, you've still got a full head of hair, not unlike me. I'm losing mine.
Not much, though.
Well, I'm on way. You know, they say always, though, the white hair is like the wise ones, you know?
I don't know. I'm not so sure about that. It
Yeah.
might be that the wife's always telling me off.
So who's asked the question? Do you sit in the power too before your healing prayers?
I do most of the time. I'm not going to lie. I don't always. I tend to forget things. I'm always doing something. So all of a sudden I realize, oh my God, it's time for Kyle, or it's time for Barry, or it's time for so and so. And quite often I say to, and I've done this so many times on pages, I say that I'm going to things and then I forget all about them. I'm off doodling, doing something else. And then I think, oh my God, that drawing was on yesterday and I missed it.
I get what you mean with that. Colin has a question from Menorca Consciousness Group. He said,
Okay.
how
Is it more about
important...
horses?
It's no more about the horse hind. He says, how important do you think karma is on a person's journey?
I don't know whether it's important to me, but it could be important to a lot of people. I just want people to get on and be good, be the highest they can be. So to me, it's irrelevant, but some people want it to happen. I did years ago want it to happen on people, but not now.
I get what you mean. It's like, I've seen karma get people, but I've not took pleasure in seeing it get people. I'm
No.
like, you've kind of had it coming, but it's like you've become this observer to it.
Yeah.
But what I would like, as Collins also asked this question, and I'm just going to put it in as a serious one, what's
Yeah.
power to you?
I don't really believe in power, to be honest, as such. You are what you are.
Power.
I'm not into that power or ego stuff, or if that's the way he means it, so I don't need to be anything more than I am. Just me.
There's always this wording. I always call it, because a lot of people say spiritual power, and I use the word prowess.
Yeah.
Spiritual prowess, and I think there's more of a connotation behind that. But I do believe there's a power, but I feel like you can't control power. It's like you go with the flow with it. It's emotion.
Exactly.
Life and spirit is emotion between
Yep.
two things, two in the same, life and spirit, and motion is movement. Movement is life, and that's what we are, and we just got to channel that into existence. But what is sitting in the power to you?
It's just being yourself and relaxing and just closing down from everyday problems and just clearing your head, really, isn't it? And being yourself.
Yeah. That's what Colin meant to say. Like, what was
Oh, right,
sitting in the
right.
power? That's me
Oh, sitting
misinterpreting
in the
it.
power, yeah.
Yeah, but Gilbert Nola has
Yeah,
asked,
yeah, yeah,
how
yeah.
does your environment affect you? That's a good question.
As in which way? Health-wise, or just being able to relax and chill out and pick up spirits?
I would say, as a whole, I would go with like, how does your environment around you affect you? From, I would say, with healing. Go with the healing.
It's just, I don't really know the answer to that one, Kyle. I don't know the answer to that at all. I think my environment is very, very quiet here. So I can just relax anyway. The only thing is with me too, I'm allergic. It's so stupid. I have a farm, but I'm allergic to grass. So when I go out, I start coughing.
It's allergies.
So that environment isn't very good for me.
You know, that does bring a question up as well. Can you share with people through your choice on your near-death experience? Because there is a
As in,
society called MAYANS, which is the International Association for Near-Death Studies, and it's like they do a lot of talks on people's experiences, and you would usually see the similar patterns towards it. So, in words, would you share your near-death experience with people? And
yeah, I one time I was in Florida and I had like an asthma attack, and because I was gasping for air, I got up and I turned the air conditioning right down in the hotel. And I thought I'd walk over to the air conditioning unit to breathe in the cold air to help me breathe, but I didn't make it as far as that. All of a sudden, I had floated up above my body, and my body was laying there like you'd see on CSI Crime Scene, just all over the place.
with white lines around.
Yeah, didn't get the white lines early enough. Yeah, so, but I floated up about, I'd say, nearly ceiling height, and I turned round in the air, and I saw my wife laying in bed. And I went, she's going to be upset in the morning, and that's all I'd done. And with that, all of a sudden, I was gone, and I went into a room where Lorraine's dad was, and he kept telling me to go back. And I actually was a bit smart. And I said to him, I thought it was supposed to be nice here. He said, go back. Too many people have missed you. Go back, go back. And the next thing I was just lifting myself off the floor. And I was in bed for 3 days. I was shattered. But I didn't
Wow.
see any tunnel or anything like that. And I've actually discussed this with Barry. When people die, do they die when they die in their body slowly and the eyes close down because they're not getting oxygen? Is that the tunnel? Or because I hit of a bang that I was straight out of the body and I didn't see any tunnel? I just saw people around me, saw Lorraine. So
Yeah, but you did have some similarities to near-death experiences. There's many that's gone there and they've been told you have to go back, and it's like, well, why do I have to go back? And
yeah,
they go back and they don't really give you the answer, don't they? They just say, but did you have a good, close relationship to the spirit, well, gentleman who saw you and told you to go back?
Lorraine's dad was fantastic, and he still is fantastic because I still get him. So I hear him in my ears now and again, not very often. So, but
Just goes
he
to
was,
show that it's family, isn't it?
yeah, he was a great man.
Yeah.
We actually were best of friends. We used to go out drinking and everything together. So.
Reminds me of my grandfather and Papa. Like, they'd have a nice drink together, but never have each other near TV because Papa would be in charge of the television.
Yeah, I don't worry about that. My wife's in charge of the box. I don't get to watch the TV.
Colin's asked a question as well. So, do you believe that the past, the present, and the future can be healed? That's a good question, that.
That is a good question. Past, yeah, well, that's the people that's upset you that way, that past, and you have to heal that yourself by forgetting about things. The present, yes, and the future, we don't know what the future holds really, do we, till it happens. So
Do you take value in living in the present then?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Can't live for tomorrow because we might not be there.
Well, well, some people, I guess, do know when the time comes, but you know, yeah, there's always these sides where you just don't know. Oh, the last
Exactly.
one was actually from Emma.
All right. Well, I thought she wasn't
I,
coming on.
nah, I didn't know. I mean, there's some people, like I said, in different places and not commenting on. I don't know where else they've been posted, but I'm sure Barry's watching as well. I
Yeah.
have a feeling.
Good old Barry. I like Barry.
So another question: what happened to Nostradamus and the future?
He doesn't tell me that. He doesn't tell me.
Might be a joke, but they say with Nostradamus, he actually used the water bowls and he would look into the water in order to
Yeah.
see his future things, but they become in such riddles. So, can you give more experiences on premonitions from you? Have you had future experiences and have just come to pass and it's gave you that validation like, wow, this inner spirit showed me this
Yes.
and now I can't deny it?
No, I like it's like I was on a mediumship page years ago, and I saw this. I was actually transported into a very wide corridor, and I kind of looked around and I said, "This isn't in England; it's too wide." And then all of a sudden, these people were walking towards me. They come out of the classrooms, and they were kind of walking through me, and I thought, "Oh my God, this is America!" And then I thought, there's going to be a school shooting. So I shook my head and I came out of it and I woke up out of the daydream what I was in. But then I told another friend that about the school shooting, and I said it's going to happen in 6 to 7 days. And on the sixth day, it actually happened in Washington School. But I put it up on one of the mediumship pages, and the lady told me that I should have run it past her first before I told somebody else.
Wow. Do you
I had the
feel,
answer for it because I said to her, "What made you so important?" So
well, what made you so important? Well,
yeah,
I believe in this. We go through experiences in our sleep, and perhaps you were shown the premonition in order to send your energy, intentions, and healing at
yeah,
the families and victims of that, what was a tragedy. So I would actually express my belief that maybe that was shown for you to actually have a invested intention of love in that experience because it was shown to you
yep.
prior to it, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yes,
Is
it
that
does.
what
Yeah,
you feel?
exactly. Yeah, but I've had a few experiences. I went to a church wedding one time, and I was sat in the church waiting for the wedding, and all of a sudden I heard Joe whispered in my ear. And I turned to my wife and said, "We got a Joe here." She said, "Pardon?" I said, "There's a Joe just whispered in my ear." So anyway, I sat there and I said nothing. And when the wedding finished, they said, "It would have been lovely if Auntie Joe would have been here, Josephine." And I didn't take that as a man or a woman because it was just a whisper. So I took no notice. But a bit later on, one time I got up in the middle of the night and I just got back into bed after being to the bathroom. And as I was laying there, the this lady was sat on the end of the bed and she was showing me her hand like that. And she was pulling the wedding ring off like that. And just kept doing that.
Okay.
And I looked at her and I said, "Don't be upset. You're okay. Everything's fine." So I walked over to her in this trance, whatever I was in. I gave her a cuddle and I said, "I know who you are." And with that, she smiled at me. I said, "You're Joe." And I always remember that. And she just carried on smiling. But then I went back to the person that got married. And I said, "I got your grandma, Joe, and she was showing me like that with her finger pulling the ring off." She said, "Oh my God." She said her wedding rings were stolen. She was very upset about it. I went, "Oh my God, that's what she was telling me. They were gone."
Wow.
And
That's
that was just,
like I wish I bloody could get some experiences like that. Pardon my French, oui oui. You know, we got another question from Elaine Jenkins. Do you believe in past lives? A healer mentioned this to
Yes.
me when I was having a healing session. If yes, do you think past lives should be or can be healed? Ooh.
Cool, that's a good question, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't really know the answer to that one. I really don't know about past lives being healed.
I don't know that,
I don't
actually.
know. I don't know.
I would say that.
Very good question.
Well, I guess the spirit in you takes past lives with you, but it's like when you transition to spirit, it's like you lose the ego and you just feel the
Yeah.
love, and it's like I don't know what happens when you do come back to the earth or when that in the spirit is placed in you. So it is a good question, but that's something what can be dissected in by others to give their thoughts.
The only thing I can say, Kyle, I've done a job for a person one time, and he absolutely didn't pay me, and I got him a grant from the council to help him. He had a heart attack, so we marked him down as disabled, so he got a grant. And I'd done the job for him. And when I finished it, the council come out, inspected it, and he kept the money. I've had him back twice in 2 reasons, apologising. So maybe that is kind of healing the past, isn't it? Because you have to accept it then. So,
you know, we got another question as well. Where does healing energy come from? What is its origin? So what's that to you?
To me, I always ask the universe, the guides, the angels, the saints, Jesus, Moses, the apostles, everyone. I ask everyone, family and friends. And I always ask the universe last. So that's...
Yeah. Gilbert has asked the question, why do certain people get ringing in their ears 24/7, where there is no medical reasons?
They say it's either tinnitus or it's spirit, isn't it, coming through to you? So, and that's usually an opening up, isn't it? So,
yeah, exactly.
I would go with the spirit if there's no medical reason for it.
Hiya, Paula Browns. Just want to welcome you here. And sorry that Carol Rayners and you were not able to comment. Luckily, I can see your comment now. I'm not sure if you have to like the page and follow it in order to comment on the live stream. So, but I'm glad that you've all shown up for the support.
It's lovely.
So one's having a joke because you're psychically tuning in. He's not satisfied with the answer. What's the origins of healing energy?
Who's that, Colin, is it?
Yeah.
Tell him I'm not telling him. He knows.
It's a secret, you're not telling him.
Yeah, I can't tell you. He's a wind-up merchant, isn't he?
So, do you recommend any type of music when people are trancing in and sending healing out? What sort of music do you listen to, or are you just still in the mind?
I listen to everything, Kyle. I listen to the oldies, to the newest stuff. I don't like most of the new stuff, but Lewis Capaldi and stuff like that I take. But I listen to everything: Queen, George Michael, punk rock. I listen to it, Dean Martin, you name it, I've got it all on my phone.
Punk rock girl. Wow. Well, let's have a look if there's any more comments, because it looks like coming to an end now, to be honest. If anyone has any final questions. How did you know you could heal, Patrick? Is what Mo asked, but I'm not sure if you've answered
I didn't know I could heal. It was just that the lady told me, Layla Kay told me that I could. So other than that, I didn't know. Yeah.
Again, it comes back to that milestone, doesn't it? Well,
yeah.
Paula Browns has put a comment, the more healers we have in this world, the better.
Exactly.
We do have a very important. Yeah. And Chris has just commented, I believe that everybody has a natural energy. When they're all born with it, it's as it's our souls, some shine bright, some not so bright. Do you feel this energy when you heal? He's asking.
Yeah, I do feel an energy when I heal, but he's absolutely right. Everyone can do it. Everyone's got that in them. You know, it's like I said, it's like singers. Some are good, some aren't so good, but healers are the same, I think. And I'm just waiting to be good.
So that looks like the last question. I do want to give notice to MCG hosting Open Circle at 7:30 with Emma Ward as the leading person, and I want to thank all the people that's attended today and supported both I and Patrick, and listening to the philosophies I had to share with people. And I do wish you all the love and light to what avails you go towards your path. And Patrick, do you have any final words you want to say to people?
I'd just like to thank them for coming. Obviously, I can't see anyone at all, but yeah, I'd like to thank them for coming anyway.
Yeah.
I can only see you and myself.
Yeah. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. I will try to get more people talking. Perhaps we'll get Patrick on for another part in the future, because I've really enjoyed today and all the support, and thank you very much.